Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you for your questions. Kasey's here, Nedum, Frank.
Yeah, I'm still here.
We've got to talk.
We haven't sent him home yet.
We've got to talk.
I just received the confirmation of
Your flight has changed from July 12th to June 28th. Just take us through the outfit, Frank. I feel it needs to be addressed first.
Well, I won't do any commercial, about that brand, but he's a friend of mine. I think he's talented. So.
Does he not like you very much?
Why, you don't like it, or you're just being jealous?
What, LF?
LF is the brand.
Ah, that's the brand.
The brand. It's not Leboeuf. It's not Frank
No, I was
Leboeuf.
thinking the initials are all wrong.
No.
And what's the significance of the chain?
Well, it's just classy, because normally you have a watch.
Right.
But I have a watch here, so
that's completely useless.
Yeah, it's just so. Why do you have buttons if you keep them open? I don't know. That's the kind of question is that. It's just. I think it's classy.
How much does that cost?
I don't know. It's free.
If you were the manager of the France national team, Frank.
If I was what?
The manager.
Oh, the manager.
Of the
Didier Deschamps, though.
Yes, if you were Didier Deschamps, would you let Mbappe take a penalty in a game-deciding moment following his performance in the tournament?
It really ups to the players to decide whether they want to shoot it or not. Imagine Marcus Thuram. Very young, having his first minutes in a big competition, getting a penalty. I was really scared. I stopped breathing.
Against his teammate.
For 5 seconds, I stopped because he...
Did you stop talking for that 5 seconds?
Well, yes, it happened to me. When I sleep and when I when Marcus Thuram having a shootout. But as you said, it was against Sommer, his teammate. So it was a hard one, and he scored. No, you don't decide. When you're manager, you don't decide who's going to shoot.
You basically...
you decide the order, though, right?
Who wants?
You decide the order.
Not even. I'm not sure. I think you asked the players. And don't worry, I was the first to shoot out because I had the confidence. I scored many penalties, shoot out, and I was trusting myself of giving the momentum to the players, to the others. But all the stars, they're going to pick the fourth or the fifth.
Right.
They can be in the media the day after.
Right. Yeah. And in the end, you're the villain.
That's what it is.
And that's it. What goes through a player's mind right before they take the final penalty, like Mbappe? Are you thinking about what happens if you miss, or do you try to keep thoughts like that out of your mind? You're the penalty taker on the panel, Frank.
It depends how you see it, the half-empty glass or half-full glass. That's the thing. You have to make sure you're very positive before shooting a penalty.
So what would go through your mind just before you hit a penalty?
Well, it depends. It depends. Some days, I would say, why I decided to shoot that penalty? Against Andorra, for example, we had a very bad game. 87th minutes, we have a penalty. We know that if I don't score, we don't go to the 2000 European Championship.
Right.
Therefore, we end up with I didn't know. And I say, why I've decided to lift my hand up and say, okay, I'm gonna shoot.
So you're thinking that just before you?
Yeah, I say I'm stupid. I should, I shouldn't talk. But it's too late, so you have to score, and you score. But you have to be positive. So the guy in front of me is not gonna win.
Right.
But you know that it's easy to score a penalty.
Yeah, it's like...
So you have to score.
1 in 10, 1 in 12 is saved or missed.
No, this tournament's been very much against that.
Yeah, because they're bad, because they're bad shooters. But normally, there is no chance for goalkeepers whatsoever.
Right. Okay. Nedum, where were you on the list of 1 to 11 to take the penalty?
If there would have been a 12, I'd be 12. I think the key thing really is that Frank describes it well. There are certain people, when there's a penalty, who are excited to score.
Right.
And there are people like myself who are worried about missing.
Right.
So if you can keep us away from the spot, you might be okay. But when we start walking up, you can tell.
That walk of doom, isn't it?
Just like,
never run. Never run.
Wow.
If you run, you're showing to the goalkeeper that you are in a rush to finish.
Kasey, did you get a vibe from someone as they're walking up? Did you stare them down?
There's times when you see that, and then you think, yeah, I've got this guy. I know where he's going. And then you dive the wrong way.
Right.
So, and then I had a couple, and I guess if you guess enough, you're going to get 1 or 2 right. But, I had one inkling one time where I thought, this guy's shooting down the middle.
Okay.
And I kind of went down and he tried to do a Panenka and I stood there.
Yes.
And
it happened today with Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, he
didn't
stood
move.
a couple
He
times.
almost saved it.
Yeah.
It's just about feeling.
Right.
But more often, Dan, you're thinking something, and
you can't lose though in theory.
That's the best. That's the only
goalkeepers.
time for a goalkeeper that you can only be the hero.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
So people say, "Oh, penalties." I said, "No, goalkeeper, brilliant for us. We can only be the hero."
Yeah, but I talked to Tim Howard today again. He said, "I always say to the players, I'm going to say one.
Yeah.
Make sure you're going to score the 5.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to say
Frank,
one.
Right.
To your point,
Yeah.
the majority of penalty shootouts that I've won, my 5 shooters have scored,
Yeah.
and I was able either to make a save
Right.
or somebody missed.
That's it.
And so you do as a goalkeeper. Yes, Sommer's the hero, but he's only the hero because 5 guys took fantastic penalty kicks before him. And that is,
Yep.
Yeah,
it
but
gives you the opportunity
get the
to
credit.
be the hero.
Get the credit.
Get the credit.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just chime in for a second and tell you about my torture, okay? So
Okay.
there are probably 3-4 times in my career where I've had to go through a spell of practicing penalties because an event was coming where we might go
Right.
to a penalty shootout, yeah? Every time I struck it well and where I wanted it to go, the keeper saved it. Every time I tried to go to the other side, I'd mishit it, the keeper would go the wrong way and it'd go in. So if I'm stepping to the line, what am I thinking to myself?
I'd just be in tears.
That's basically what I was.
I would just not be able
Well, I
to
talked
myself.
to Johan Niskens, was really the master of perfection in terms of penalties. And I asked him, I said, "What did you do?" He said, "Well, I was picking aside. I was making sure I was shooting on the floor, and I was closing my eyes."
Wow.
And he scored all of
Well,
them.
look at Pogba's.
Yeah.
I mean,
penalty.
smash that in the upper corner, and guess
Fantastic.
what? Nobody
Moment, eh?
saved
Yeah,
it.
but in the air
So-
it's complicated.
It's complicated,
it's
but it's
safer on the
unsavable.
floor. It's safer.
But it's unsavable in the air.
It's unsavable,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think this experience will bring Mbappe down to earth a little, Frank? And
But if you consider he has a big head,
does
yes.
that improve his career down the line?
It's one maybe the first slap in his face in his young
Yes.
career.
Yeah.
So it's of course going to be a lesson. But again, you cannot blame a young player to step up to shoot a penalty because it's a lottery, and you can blame him for the bad game that he had, but not because he missed a penalty. That would be
Or
so unfair.
Is it more than just a bad game? I mean, here's a player that came in with people saying, best player in the world,
Yeah.
doesn't score a goal in the whole tournament, and then misses the final
Yeah, but
penalty.
we had that in 2002. We had Thierry Henry, David Trezeguet, and Djibril Cissé, top scorer of England, Italy, and France. With 3 games, no goals.
Right.
Out of the competition. So that, again,
And those 3 guys ended up having decent careers.
that bad.
All the questions are for Frank. For Frank, surely not taking Ferland, Mendy or Theo Hernandez, proper fullbacks cost France deeply. Even Benjamin Mendy could offer more than makeshift fullbacks.
Upamecano can probably be thrown into that.
yeah, well, after you can rethink everything, at the end of the day, nobody would have considered that it's a problem or it's a mistake to have picked Varane, Kipembe, and Langley. I'm sorry, and Koundé and anybody. It's a choice, and after the results makes you being right or wrong.
Yep.
That's it. And you have the injury. Lucas Hernandez has been injured. Dania has been injured as well. That's what it is. It's football, and you can try to redo everything. You won't have the answer.
Final question. Frank, if you're in charge of the French FA, would you make any changes after this? Would you hire Zidane, for example?
It's a discussion that I will have with Didier Deschamps because I think he did well, and it will be unfair to say, well, okay, you lost in the last 16, you out. I think it would be unfair. I think it would say, okay, Didier, what do you want to do? Do you think we can carry on? What are you going to do with the players? Are you going to get rid of some players? Are you going to bring some others? What do we do for the next World Cup, which is in a year and a half from now, not even 2 years? And then I will make a decision. I will talk to Zidane as well because, okay, Zizou, what do you want to do? You're free now.
Right.
Everybody thinks that the only thing you want to do in your life is being a coach of the national team. And then I will make my decision. But saying, no, okay, Deschamps, you lost, bye-bye. I'm not that kind of person because it doesn't mean anything. We see that with many chairmen, they do that and they don't resolve any
What
problem.
if Zidane offered you some free clothes?
Well, yeah, and we have and for life.
Yeah,
For life.
I think that would be a deal breaker. Yeah, that is it. Thank you very much. What a day. Brilliant day to be involved in this sport. More of it tomorrow. Oh, England, Germany, what a disaster that'll be. Be sure to join us there. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.